Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. I hope everyone's having a great week. Already pre-measured out 2.5 cups of flour. That's gonna make equivalent to about 1.5 pounds of pasta. That goes a long way, feeds about 4 to 5 people. The type of flour I use, you want to use 00 flour. I use the brand Caputo, C-A-P-U-T-O. If you can't find this in your grocery store, you can order this off Amazon. And you can use all-purpose flour if that's all you have, but the reason why you want 00 flour is because it's high in gluten, and what that means is that is going to make sure that your pasta is sustainable throughout all the different processes that you're going to put your pasta through. And that's why you want to make sure that you have your 00 flour. And also I use another flour. This is called semolina. This is, I use this for the drying process for my pasta. It's a little bit more grittier. It's a whole germ wheat flour, and it absorbs that excess moisture out of your pasta to make it that perfect dryness. So once you put it through the roller to cut your pasta, either if that pasta is fettuccine or spaghetti, your pasta is not going to stick to the rollers. And then I have my eggs. So the thing about eggs, I prefer jumbo eggs. You can get organic eggs, you can get large eggs, whatever you prefer. But here's the thing, all eggs are different sizes. 3/4 cup of flour or a cup of flour, and then you add that one egg. The one egg may not be enough moisture to bring that ball of dough together. So just be aware that you might want to add an extra egg and then add a little bit more flour. But if it does not come together, your dough, wrap it up in saran wrap, put it in the fridge, and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes to absorb that natural condensation back into your dough. Take it back out a second time and rework it. All right, so I'm gonna begin making my dough. Bench scraper. I love this tool because it makes sure that I can keep my hands clean. I also have a fork. I also want to make a point. When you measure out your flour, the correct way to measure out your flour is use a flat edge like this knife and scrape off the top. That is a perfect 1 cup measured flour. Alrighty, so next, you know, some people, they like to add some olive oil even, maybe even a little bit of sea salt, but I like to save my salt for my pasta water. When I cook the pasta, make it salty like the sea, and that's what actually flavors your pasta as it cooks, okay? Sorry, my sister is singing in the background. Just ignore her, okay? All right. And here's another good point. You might want to take off your rings for this process because the dough tends to get all in those crevices as you make your pasta dough. And you can make this dough in a food processor and or in a mixing bowl. Okay, so I have my fork. I'm gonna break all my yolks. I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. So you can see. You hear that piddle paddle? That's what you want. And I have my other hand with my bench scraper, and this make sure that you equally incorporate your flour into your egg mixture. Okay. I don't know why pasta always makes me so happy. There's just nothing like it. Definitely is a workout. All right. Anything that goes onto the tablecloth, I can easily take it outside and shake it off, put it in the washer and clean it. And then you're set for the next time you make pasta. And let's see how I bring my bench scraper together, kind of like in my gnocchi video. the same process as gnocchi, but the difference between gnocchi and regular pasta is that with regular pasta, you want to knead it until pretty much that you can't knead it anymore because you want to build up that gluten in your pasta. Like a ball of yarn. You see how I'm kneading all in the same direction, and that's what you want. You don't want anything to go to waste. See how it nicely came together like that, like so. So how I knead this, and make sure you always have your flour by you. Just make sure that it doesn't stick. And I do it for about 5 to 10 minutes, not kidding. And I have one foot in front of the other, my right foot, my right hand in the front, the hand that you write with, and I use my palm, and then I rotate, keeping a flat bottom as I knead my dough. Like so. And then once you work your dough, you're gonna let it rest. And how I let it rest, if it's feeling a little dry, I'm gonna wrap it in saran wrap, because what that does is accumulate that condensation back into the dough to make it the perfect texture. And that's what you're looking for. You want the right amount of moisture, right amount of dryness. Do you see there? There's your ball of dough. Put it in a bowl, actually, with a plate on top. And what that does is all the excess condensation that's in your dough is going to accumulate to the bottom of that plate. So your dough isn't super wet. And that allows for you not to add more flour to change the flavor of the dough. You want to have that nice richness from the egg, and by adding more flour, it takes away from that. And next, we're gonna roll it out on the KitchenAid. Of course, if you have a hand roller, you can use that as well, okay? So I'll get back with you. All right, well, we're back. And my dough has rest, so it's nice and soft after I worked it. The reason why you want it to rest is because when you do knead it for that long, you do want it to actually rest for a little bit so your pasta isn't super dense. I call this as soft as a baby's bottom. All right, let me get my chef knife. All right, I'm gonna cut this into fours. And as I'm rolling out the dough, I actually store it in the bowl where I let it rest so it doesn't dry out. Put this over here, knife over here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a lot of flour on here so it doesn't stick at all. And I have my KitchenAid attachment right here. You can order these off Amazon, KitchenAid.com. I also have my 2 rollers, my fettuccine. This is also tagliatelle in northern regions of Italy. That's what they call it. And then this is our spaghetti. Our 2 rollers for those 2. I would do a little bit of both. My attachment on. I'm going to put it on about, level 4. And then I'll get back with you. The last piece of dough, I'm just coating it with a little bit more flour, and I'm going to put it through the first level about I would say 3 to 5 times. What we're doing is we're reactivating the gluten in the dough so it can sustain the next 6 levels. And I'm rolling this out to a level 7. What I'm doing is I'm coating it with flour and then I'm folding it like a book, like this. And then pressing it together, and then I put it through the roller this way. So the way that you fold it like a book, you're putting it vertically, not horizontally, because what that does, that creates air pockets that once it goes through the roller, it'll burst out that air pocket, and you don't want that. And you're gonna put this through, keep folding it like a book, put it through, like I said, 3 to 5 times until it comes that texture, leather-like texture that you want, so it can stay in those next several levels. It'll become lighter in color. All right, I think we're about there. There you go, that's what you're looking for. I'm gonna go through the next levels. Make sure it's nice and coated. And then you do no more folding it like a book. You just put it through one time, coat it with flour, and then go through the next level. And I sometimes have one person, if you have 2 people, I have one person doing the dial and the other person putting the dough through, so you don't lose count on what level you were on. And I always use the back of my hand so I don't puncture holes in my pasta. And I'm just coating it with flour. This is the last. Alright. At about 6 to 7 inches. Alright, we're back. So I let this dry for about 10-15 minutes. Just enough to get that texture. Right here. And I changed out my roller. This is the fettuccine. There's your first pasta. So now I'm going to do the spaghetti.
E sem ela não pode ser. Diz-lhe numa prece que ela regresse, porque eu não posso mais sofrer. Chega de saudade, a realidade é que sem ela não há paz, não há beleza, é só.
Right, everyone, I just finished with the spaghetti, and here's the fettuccine. I just put them into nest, and like I said, I used a little bit of that whole durum wheat flour, and that is just to help prevent the pasta from sticking. And then you can store the pasta up to a month in a sealed container, and if you have a lot of pasta, I layer it with with parchment paper, and they're easy to take out of the container when you're ready to cook them. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. All right, have a good day.